Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Bob Arum. Bob, it's great always seeing you. I just saw you, a week and a half ago in England. How is it like for you still traveling after all these years going all over the world? Do you ever get tired of it?
Of course not. I love to travel. I love to meet people. I had a magnificent time in London. I have a lot of friends there. You know, when I first went to England, with a fighter. It was Muhammad Ali in 1966. And the only problem with London, they're great fans and everything, but the restaurants were awful. You couldn't eat there. I mean, it was terrible. Now, they probably have better restaurants in London than any place in the world. I mean, every restaurant that I went to was first class. And I mean, a great atmosphere. London has become such a beautiful, great city. I mean, I guess it always was through history, but in my time, London is now really at the top of where it had been.
How many more fights can we anticipate that Top Rank will be holding over in England?
We hope that next year we'll be doing at least 4 to 6 events a year in England. We really want to come in heavy into the English market. And one of the reasons is that we have some great fighters, great attractions like Lomachenko, and there's no fan base better than the English fans. Maybe the Mexican fans, but the peso is in the toilet, so that's not so good. But the English, the UK fans, whether they're Irish from Belfast or Scottish or English, just incredible fans.
Now, speaking of Vasily, let's talk a bit about what we can anticipate next. We're not quite sure if he's planning to stay put, if he's moving back down in weight. Is there any insight you can give us?
Yeah, he is not going to move down in weight until he wins the 4th title. He unifies the lightweight division. Then he'll fight either at 126, 130, or 135, going up and down, fighting the best fighter in those 3 divisions. So, I mean, he's an incredible talent, and he's going to do something that we haven't seen since the heyday of Henry Armstrong, who I'm sure you don't remember.
I can't say I do.
He was great. He was champion in 3 divisions and defended his title in the 3 divisions in the same period.
We know that Tyson Fury just did a bit of an autobiography. What about for yourself? I would love to read about all of the stories you've had over the years. Can we get that at some point?
Well, you know, if I had time to do it, I would do it. Usually do it when you retire. And I'm not anywhere near retirement. I'm a young man. I got plenty left. I got plenty left in the tank. And I'd rather do stuff currently like I'm doing than to take the weeks and months off necessary to do an autobiography.
Well, you know what, Bob? There are people called ghostwriters who will write your story for you, and all you have to do is sit in a room, tell them your stories, and they do it for you.
Well, I know that, but it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Okay. Well, we are here in Las Vegas for Tyson Fury's fight against Otto Wallin. There have been some criticism in terms of the opponents that he has been fighting as of late. I know that Eddie Hearn, I don't know if you've heard Eddie Hearn's most recent comments towards ESPN and you. Have you?
Oh, no, but you can't take Eddie Hearn seriously, can you? I mean, Tyson Fury, when he fought, I guess in April, against Tom Schwartz, did more sign-ups for ESPN Plus, more sign-ups than Eddie Hearn with his 20 or 30 fights that he's done here combined. I mean, the point is, Eddie Hearn doesn't know how to promote in the United States. He hasn't promoted well in the United States. It's been a failure, and Hearn should try to clean up his act and find out how to promote in the United States without opening his mouth about other people's promotions.
Is it safe to say that, because it seems like when you and Eddie are together, you guys seem to be okay on decent terms, but then it seems like the moment you guys aren't around each other, there's a comment coming out here and there. Do you guys like each other at all? Or is it just, friendly competitiveness?
I go back a long way with Eddie's father, Barry, dear friend of mine. I've known Eddie since he's been a kid, and I like Eddie very much. But, when he mouths off when he shouldn't, or he gets into other people's business when he shouldn't, I can give him back better than I can get.
That is for sure, Bob. Okay, let's talk a bit about Tyson Fury and what we can expect. We do know that should he be successful this Saturday night, there was the rematch that was looming with Deontay Wilder. Is there any sort of insight you can give us? Because right now it seems as though Deontay is kind of singing a different tune. It sounds as though he wants to get the winner of the Aj-Ruiz Anthony Joshua rematch rather than take the rematch with Tyson Fury.
I don't know what song anybody's singing. Also, I know that there's a contract between Fury and Wilder to fight in February.
Right.
And there's then a rematch clause, whoever wins the fight. So those two fights are done, sealed. And also, people should not talk about Ruiz fighting anybody else after he beats Joshua, which I believe he will, because he's obligated to fight Kubrat Pulev. So, all comments that fighters make off the cuff or whatever, you got to take with a grain of salt. Like that kid who's fighting on the Prograis Taylor card, who's complaining that he's not a main event. Chisora, I think his name.
Chisora.
He should be happy that he's on a card with two great fighters like those two super lightweights.
Bob, is there anything that you could tell us a bit about your relationship with Tyson Fury? It seems like you guys gel really well. You both have great banter. Is there any stories or anything you could tell us that's maybe gone on behind the scenes that we haven't been able to see?
No, I'm just getting to know Tyson Fury. But again, remember, I learned everything about boxing from Muhammad Ali, who was an outgoing personality, very smart, obviously was able to come in with the public, really resonate with the public. And so when I see a Tyson Fury who's a chip off that block, I know how to deal with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a terrific guy. He's highly intelligent. He's very, very articulate. So I enjoy being part of a promotion involving him.
I love what they have in common is they both rhyme. When they're on stage talking, they always find a way of rhyming their words.
Well, people who are very articulate and know how to resonate with the public do have that tendency to be able to rhyme. That's, in effect, what the rise of the rapper. The rapper is able to communicate because he can rhyme. And so the fact that Ali would rhyme and Tyson Fury would rhyme is not surprising, because people who are articulate and can really make a contact with the public have that ability.
And lastly, Bob, speaking of Kubrat Pulev, when can we anticipate that fight will be taking place? Will it be summer of 2020 when he gets the winner of Andy Ruiz or Anthony Joshua?
It has to be before or in May of next year.
Okay.
That's what the IBF has ruled, that the winner of the Joshua Ruiz fight must fight Pulev next, and it must be before the end of May 2020.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you as always. You're always really great to speak to. Would you like to have any final words?
Are you English?
I'm not English.
But you work in England? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from California.
And you
Temecula.
Went to England? They always come, the English always come over to America. You went the other way, eh?
Well, I'm about 50-50. So there's a lot of business over there. So I have to go back and forth. But 50% Manchester, England, which is where Tyson, and then the other half I'm between the states.
Yeah, Ricky Hatton years ago showed me Manchester, so I'm familiar with great city, and it's great that you work in both places. But I can't wait to start doing events on a regular basis in the United Kingdom. Great fight fans there.
Well, you guys had a fantastic card, obviously, with Lomachenko and Campbell, so I hope you guys do as well, which is why I was asking if you plan to do any more. I think it would definitely be a hit, and also be a bit of competitiveness there with Eddie Hearn.
Well, I don't know if there's competitiveness, because if he's doing good fights, the fans will turn out. And if we do good fights, the fans will turn out. And if he does lousy events, they won't. If we do lousy events, they won't. It's good for the sport that the good events are being presented. And that's, to my mind, not real competition. That's just helping grow the sport.
Right. Well, I second that. Well, thank you so much for your time again. I appreciate you as always. And you guys don't want to miss the fight, September the 14th, live on ESPN Plus and BT Sport. Bye, fight fans.
Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time we upload a new video. And we also have a free app available on iTunes and Google Play, so make sure you go and download that. Bye, fight fans.